Well, good morning. Well, no, good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming. What a spectacular day. As we have played with our format for celebrating athletics at Caltech, I think it was a particularly good call to move inside today with how warm it is going to be. So thank you all for coming to recognize and celebrate the special role that competitive athletics can have on an education and development of students and citizens. Over my 25-year career in many aspects of education and sport, the most impactful stories are the ones remembered and shared often, long after the fact, by students and alumni who realize the transformative capacity of teamwork, the mentoring received, persistence, courageous risk-taking, resiliency, and yes, lessons through failure, and yes, joys through victory. The self-discipline to compete within the spirit and letter of the rules, and the perspective to give your all, and also understand it's just a game. The joy of the endeavor is not always instantly apparent. We must delay gratification. The joy of the endeavor when your muscles ache from training, or when you're late to the house dinner from practice, or you make the tough choice not to go on that ski trip, or not to go to Coachella, but instead get the sleep you need to train hard and maximize your potential. Often that realization comes at the end of the season, when you reflect on the body of work. Those improvement points reveal themselves, and often 10 or 20 years later, when you wistfully long for what seems like unstructured time to do exactly what you want to do. Or in the job interview, when the potential employer says, "Tell me about a time when you overcame a great challenge, or led other people, or worked on a team." As you're aware, our format is evolving so that both our current students and our honored guests can share in those lessons and experience of this marvelous, competitive, collaborative endeavor. We'll mingle these student recognitions with our special Hall of Honor inductees. Our Hall of Honor is now in its 4th year. We celebrate the accomplishments of us all, seeing ourselves in not only the individual honors bestowed on a few, but each of us for our role and contributions to those successes, past, present, and future. Now, often in my eager beaver, unending enthusiasm, I'm prone to illustrative exaggeration. However, to say that we have had another tremendous year in our athletic program is a bona fide understatement. A few highlights with just a few names to illustrate our collective successes. Make sure you see yourself, see each of us, contributing in numerous ways through these highlights to the fact that, yes, indeed, the tide is rising. In men's water polo, Chris Bradley earned his 2nd honorable mention All-American honor, and Sharia I never get his last name right, Jalansi set a single-game record for saves, 25 saves. Chris also recently became the first Beaver in history to receive academic all-district recognition all 3 years he was eligible. It's no surprise, given that that team posted the 4th best GPA in the country this year. Women's cross country placed 6th in its highest finish in the SCIAC since 1995 and recorded its regional best finish in history at 19th. Sophie Walton was named the conference Newcomer of the Year, made first team All-SCIAC, and earned a Scholar Athlete of the Year award based on her GPA and regional finish. Meanwhile, the men's team posted its best back-to-back finishes of 5th and 6th since 2003, with 6 freshmen and 2 sophomores running among the team's top 8. That's a great sign for the future. One of those freshmen, Simon Ricci, set a new program record. The volleyball team took major strides despite only a handful of returning players, posting the 2nd most kills, assists, and digs in program history. They also tied the most wins for the program in the past decade at 3 this season, and this is the 3rd straight year they've ended their season with a W. JD Feist. Well, J.D. Feist. The active saves leader across all NCAA divisions in men's soccer. Wow. J.D. was rightly recognized for his senior season with first-team All-SCIAC honors and the Bryan Award for sportsmanship, leadership, and more. Yet another team that is clearly improving every single day. Now this next one is a little peremptory, but women's soccer. Yes, women's soccer. We're adding women's soccer. Way to go for the handful of you who have chosen to take on this incredible opportunity and are already getting after it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The first women's soccer game will be September 2nd at Redlands. We had 2 women's fencers qualify for the regionals, including 4-time qualifier Christina Meyer and Mei-Ling Larzi, who walked onto the team after volleyball. I can't think of a better example for what the courage to try and the dedication to an undertaking can allow all of us to do in anything we choose. We graduate our winningest men's basketball class in program history. 16 SCIAC wins over the last 2.5 years alone. Nasser Al-Rayes became the team's first All-SCIAC first-team recipient since 1960. Brittany Person, Jem Takahashi combined to break 7 swim and dive records, including 4 relays thanks to their teammates, and both made the podium at the SCIAC Championship with top 3 finishes. Sophie Kazmaier went a perfect 4 for 4 in scoring at the conference championship. Shifan Wang beat several Division II opponents to make the regional finals in men's fencing, along with 4 others qualifying for the regionals. The men finished 2nd in their conference by a single point against Division I teams like Arizona State, UCLA, and USC. Second team All-SCIAC selection and second leading scorer and rebounder in women's basketball history, Kate Lewis, and the women's basketball team tied the record with 2 SCIAC wins this year. Our first ever SCIAC newcomer of the year, Grace Pang, and the conference blocks leader, Elizabeth Idle. All a big part of what's going on in that program. Back to swimming. Tom Gallup, first year Tom Gallup, placed 11th at the NCAA National Championships. Yes, 11th in the country, and was one of many Beavers to help set 13 team records. 11th in the country, 13 team records. Tom was also named SCIAC Newcomer of the Year, and the method relay team placed 3rd overall, their best finish in the SCIACs since 1986. Michelle Marasigan scored women's track and field's first points at the SCIAC Championship in 3 years, placing 7th in the 800-meter run. Earlier in the spring, the team won its first SCIAC dual meet since 2008 against Chapman, and set a total of 10 program top 10 marks. Men's tennis took a daunting schedule that allowed Ruthwick Patharetti to defeat the number 16 and number 46 ranked players in the nation, in addition to several big regional wins. The team made an absolutely thrilling comeback in their conference opener at Kowloon that was basically down to the final point, and is yet another squad with good young talent ready to make a huge step forward in conference play. Women's water polo showed probably the most improvement of any team throughout its season, and Mary Boyajian ends her career as the all-time assists leader by quite a margin. For men's track and field, Tim Krasnoperov, never going to get that one right either, Tim, sorry, became our 3rd straight All-SCIAC honoree, with a 3rd place throw in the discus, and made 3 program top 10 lists. 3 others joining in on the list as well. The men also beat Chapman in a dual meet for the 3rd straight year. Women's tennis had almost too many highlights to name. They were awarded their first ever national ranking, number 38, to become our first team in any sport to earn the right to host a SCIAC tournament match by finishing 4th in the conference. Also their best finish in history. Kana Moriyama and Angelica Zhao were both named All-SCIAC after a fantastic season, and Julia Riesler made an appearance with Kana in the regional rankings. And finally, baseball. Baseball won its first SCIAC game in 29 years. Now, I have to pause, and I think we should do this way. If you were not alive 29 years ago, put up your hand. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Show of hands, right? After beating Pomona with a walk-off, they almost did it again the very next day, and then got a second win over Whittier 2 weeks later, finishing the year with 8 wins, the most in over a half a century. Way to go, fellas. Every team is asked to recognize a most valuable player for several reasons. First and foremost, to recognize excellence and appreciate the abilities of that person. In some ways, a very un-Caltech-like thing. As we see from team results and our recent momentum, there can be no star and no team success without amazing teammates. So it's important for each of us to see ourselves in the contributions and accomplishments of these standouts, but nonetheless, important to recognize the standouts. Without naming each of you, I would like for each of our team MVPs to stand in place and receive our appreciation for your contributions. MVPs up. The experience of longevity of commitment, of persistent sacrifice, of perspective, the role of translator, the keepers of our brand and the team culture, the watchful eye for younger team members, the team memory about just how much improvement is happening, and most importantly, the fun and the competitiveness and the memories. Our seniors are special and deserve to be recognized in this special way. This senior class has given so much to our teams and to our program and the Institute through their participation and 4-year commitment. Their experience becomes deeper, richer, and significantly more meaningful as they prepare to launch into next steps, either your career, or more school, or perhaps a much-needed break. Good luck to you. Thank you. And come back and see us, your seniors. Well, certainly the reason that our teams exist is to provide opportunity to these students and fun for you. The coaches and staff that lead those efforts have a huge role in your experience. Often, coaches are a constant in a young person's life at a formative moment. One of the pleasures I have had at Caltech is to meet with and hear these stories of transformative impact on students by coaches from our alumni. Some of those stories you may hear today from our inductees. This group makes my job fun and so satisfying. Please join me in thanking your coaches and our department staff for everything that they have done over this year and your careers. Thank you, staff. All right, pontification out of the way, general yet sincere thanks out of the way, on with the show. The athletes of the year and the director's award winners will be invited to say a few words when they approach the stage. Our inductees will also be giving a short speech reflecting on their careers at Caltech and how their experience has translated to success success in their life since. For the flow of the program, we request that you hold your applause until the winners and award winners and inductees have come to the podium, where we'll pause for a picture. So, we will begin with the Scholar Athlete Award, which is presented to the senior male and female student athletes who have maintained the highest cumulative GPA and made significant contributions to their sports over their careers. If both recipients will please come forward together to receive their award, hold your applause until both are named. The 2017 female scholar athlete is Sophia Chen, and the 2017 male scholar athlete is J.D. Feist.
J.D. Murphy says hello.
Our first Hall of Honor inductee is Kevin Boyce, class of 1995, fencing. Woo! A four-time West Region champion and NCAA qualifier, Kevin led the Sabre team to 2 regional titles while compiling a 167-3 record. 167-3 in the NCAA and conference competition over his career. He earned a pair of All-America honors and remains the only Beaver fencer to qualify for 3 national championships. Kevin graduated with dual degrees in biology and literature and has gone on to a distinguished career in paleobotany. He spent 10 years as an associate professor at the University of Chicago and currently holds the same position up north at Stanford University. Please join me in welcoming Kevin Boyce.
Thank you. This is all very professional, and you guys are all surprisingly well groomed, and these are changes.
You weren't?
No, not so much. Yeah, thank you. I got nostalgic with this coming up, and I looked up like my peers at the NCAAs and the junior nationals and stuff like that, and they're all fencing coaches now. And that shouldn't have surprised me, but it really did kind of surprise me because I don't have that in me personally, but it really made me appreciate people that do have it. So it's hard to be a coach. And as much as things have changed, I suspect it's still even harder to be a coach at a place like this, where the mindset of the average student athlete is probably a little distinct from the average coach. Thank your coaches. We did that. Thank your coaches. My coach was Bob Randolph. He was my only coach, both in high school and in college. The associate coaches, the assistant coaches were George Clovis, who was head coach before and after Bob, and Carlos Fuertes. And there was a guy named Keith Sykes, who was the team manager, who after he was dedicated enough that after his eligibility ran up, he stayed on as an undergrad as a team manager. So thank you to all of them. And you should thank your parents, because taking you to practices is really boring. So you should thank your parents for that. And I should thank my wife, who was actually in some of those pictures, because there's no way I would have made it through math and this one after. Practices is in the evening, and you come back and everyone's done. You eat dinner, you go to practice, everyone does their homework, and then I came back and she would stay up to me like 3 in the morning, getting me through those homework. So thank you to her. I thank my parents who are actually here. Thank you. Yes.
Our Student Athlete Advisory Council is an important group of dedicated and involved students who meet regularly to discuss and engage with the athletic staff on our programs and initiatives, and are helping to build positive spirit on campus through the Orange Out program. A note of personal appreciation for the leaders this year, Tomas Tusi and Michelle Long, and next year's leadership will be decided next week at the final meeting of the year. SAC, as it's affectionately known, is part of the national governance structure and supports student voices. SAC selects and presents the Sportsmanship Award. So at this time, I would like to welcome Tomas to the podium to present this year's award.
Thank you, Betsy. So the Sportsman of the Year Awards are what we as student athletes see as our legacy. In its 6th year, we nominated teammates whom we felt are the best example of what Caltech student athletes should strive for. If both recipients will please come forward to receive the award together, please hold your applause until both are named. The SAC Female Sportsmanship Award for 2017 goes to Kate Lewis, and the SAC Male Sportsmanship Awards for 2017 goes to Ricky Gallagher.
Our next Hall of Honor inductee is Gerald Eisman, class of 1971, men's soccer. Caltech's soccer, well, men's soccer, all-time goals leader on record. Gerald Eisman tallied 21 scores over 45 games in a career that devastatingly was cut short by a broken leg in his senior year. A two-time first-team All-SCIAC selection, he's also the only Beaver on record able to claim a 10-goal season, which earned him NAIA District 3 first-team recognition and All-American consideration as a junior. He was a member of the program's most recent winning team, which placed third in our conference in 1969. Gerald earned his doctorate in mathematics from the University of California, Berkeley, before embarking on a lauded career at San Francisco State as a professor, department chair, and director of the Institute for Civic and Community Engagement. Gerald couldn't be with us today. Accepting on his behalf will be the captain of the 2016 men's soccer team, J.D. Feist. Less of me, more of you. We'd like to now watch a short video highlighting our team accomplishments from the past year. outstanding contribution to his team during the 16-17 academic year. This award is selected by vote of the athletic department staff from among the team MVPs. Will the winner please come forward and share a few short words with us? In alphabetical order, the nominees are Nasser Al-Reyes, basketball; Chris Bradley, water polo; Mark Burleson, baseball; JD Feist, soccer; Tom Gallup, swimming and diving; Tim Krasnoperov, track and field; Ethan Lowe, fencing; Ruthwick Hatheretti, men's tennis; and Simon Ricci, cross country. And the Caltech Male Athlete of the Year for 2017 is Tom Gallup.
Challenges of being a student athlete, especially at a school here, or a school like this, but we all still choose to partake in our sport. So I think that's a great testament both to the individual and the environment, like the team, like the whole thing. So yeah, I just consider myself very lucky to be among and part of all of you in this group. So yeah, cheers, thanks.
All right. Our third Hall of Honor inductee is George Papa, class of 1994, men's basketball. George ended his distinguished career as the program's all-time leader in career points with 1,297, a record which stood for 15 years, despite his having played just 3 seasons. Still holds the mark for the most points scored in a single game at 43. A 2-time second-team All-SCIAC selection, the forward also earned the Best for Basketball trophy twice and was named the Carl Schei Freshman of the Year. Upon graduation, he held the single-season records for rebounds and assists, while also ranking second in points and blocks, and was named the Caltech Outstanding Athlete in his final year. George graduated with honors and holds dual degrees in applied physics and economics. He founded Spider Rock Holdings and remains the managing partner of the Wealth Management Fund. Please join me in welcoming George Papa.
This is an outstanding group. Honored to be among you. My story really starts, I think, with parents who were patient, forbearing. What do you do when your 14-year-old comes to you and explains that he wants to build a 40-meter quad beam antenna that I'll put it on the roof so his little 3-watt heat kit radio will go a little bit further. Anyway, I was lucky. I'm a little taller than average, a little quicker than average. Worked to my benefit when I was growing up. By the time I got to high school, and I went to a large high school with, I think there were about 3,000 students in 3 grades. And they took sports pretty seriously there. I remember playing basketball in gyms with 2,500, 3,000 people on a regular basis. And I was the best player on my high school team. But at the same time, I was also taking classes at a local university at Arizona State, which was a few miles away. And in that era, the coaches at Caltech didn't recruit at all. So I remember, deciding to come here and I show up. and I thought I knew a little bit of math and physics because I was, a bit ahead of my classmates. I thought I'd go to the bookstore and, check out what it had to offer. So I show up in the Caltech bookstore, which they've moved it, it's not where it used to be. And I go to the math section, and at the beginning of the math section, they had books on calculus. The calculus books were large and thick, and a couple of them, I sort of felt like I might have a handle on that. Moved down the shelf, and then you got to the algebra books. I'd never seen, algebra the way they meant it here. So it was a little bit intimidating. Kept going further down the shelves, and the books were getting thinner and smaller. And by the time you got to the end of the shelf, there was this book called Simple Arithmetic. You guys are laughing because you know what that is. Maybe 70 pages, and I cracked the cover and I looked at that. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. It was way, beyond anything I'd ever seen. And quickly, it didn't take a couple days to realize that, there were more people here that were, on top of math and science, and really knew what they were doing. Beyond anything that I had imagined was even possible before I arrived. And it's true, I might have been living under a rock, but after a couple of days, I, screwed up my courage, and I said, I'm gonna, go see if they have a basketball team and see if I could walk on maybe and play. So I go to find the coach, and this was before Brown Gym was built. We had, the Brown Gym was in. And so I go down to Brown, and I ask around and find the basketball coach, and he's this sort of short guy wearing a blue tracksuit with a towel around his neck. His name was Gene Victor. And I sort of walk in, introduce myself, and he looks at me and he says, "Have you ever played basketball before?" Oh, yeah, a little bit. So, Gene was, he was a tough coach. He was an honor guy at times, but also an acquired taste. I can tell you, he became one of my best friends, and I was very happy to have known him and played for him. Later I left Caltech, I started a family, and started working up to kind of career ladder. Eventually started my own firm. And I didn't come back very much. I wasn't associated with the community for a while. And, a few years ago, I came back and started, looking around again. And particularly this weekend when we had alumni come back. And, it really struck me that this is an amazing place. The amount of energy and drive, both academically and athletically, the community, just the will to change the world and succeed is unique and special. There really are very few places like this that I've ever run across. And I was lucky to be here, and I hope all of you feel the same gratitude for this place and how special it is. I can tell you it's easier to appreciate that after you've left and you come back. When you're going through it, it's a tough spot. There's practice, there's work, there's school, your classmates are very competitive. You say, why were we working so hard as students? It wasn't because, the professors were giving homework and they were pushing us, but really we were pushing ourselves. It was the community and the effort to sort of push and succeed from the student level, from the peers around you, that was really remarkable. Anyway, I'm honored to be among you. I'm honored to receive this award. And I wish you all the best in everything you do, and I'm sure it will be great.
Excellent. Thanks, George. The Female Athlete of the Year Award is presented to the student athlete in any class who has made the most outstanding contribution to her team during the 16-17 academic year. This award is voted by the athletic department staff from the team MVPs. Will the winner please come forward and share a few remarks? In alphabetical order, the nominees are Alex Lowinger, volleyball; Kate Lewis, basketball. Lauren Lee, volleyball. Michelle Marasajan, track and field. Christina Meyer, fencing. Kana Moriyama, tennis. Brittany Person, swimming and diving. And Sophie Walton, cross country. And the winner of the Caltech Female Athlete of the Year Award for 2017 is Sophie Walton.
First, I'd just like to say thank you to Coach Ben because he kind of helped me not only get introduced into the cross-country program, but get introduced to this school period, because I wasn't planning on applying. And also, I'd like to say thank you to the entire cross-country team for getting me through first term, because that was very rough. But now it's much better. I sort of figured things out. And I'd also like to give a special thanks to Melissa, Michelle, Michael, Mason, and Nick for running with me during practices and showing me all the cool places to go in Pasadena and San Marino, and running with me on all those lovely tempo runs and workouts. And also thank you to the whole team. It was really fun.
Our fourth Hall of Honor inductee is Kristen Zortman Sutherland, class of 2005, track and field, volleyball, baseball. A three-sport scholar athlete during her time at Caltech, Kristen became the third female track and field representative to compete at the NCAA championships, where she placed 14th in the javelin as a senior. She earned all SCIAC honors both years on the team and still holds program records in the javelin, 100 and 200 meter dashes. Kristen, who was a member of the Wisconsin State champion softball team as a high school senior, began her career at Caltech as a 2-year starter on the baseball team before joining track and field. In addition to playing 3 seasons of volleyball, in which she ranked second on the team in all 3 attacking categories and blocks. Please join me in welcoming Kristen Sutherland.
Thank you so much for honoring me today. When I think back on my time as a student athlete at Caltech, I am overwhelmed with gratitude. The athletics department here at Caltech is a very special place. For me personally, it was a retreat into an environment where I could feel confident in my abilities. When academics were a struggle, sports were a place that I could come to feel at home. I could spend 2 hours every day feeling physically challenged, trying new things, and also be supported by my coaches and fellow athletes. Perhaps the most unique thing about Caltech athletics is that they make NCAA sports accessible to any student who commits to try. I played 3 sports while attending Caltech, 2 of which I had almost no prior experience playing. I had the most success in track and field, a sport that I joined during my junior year. My accomplishments with the javelin carried over into my academics and even led to my career at JPL. I struggled to line up a job after graduation, but an article in the LA Times about my trip to nationals with the javelin earned me an interview. I can't thank my coaches enough for all the ways that they influenced my growth as a person and my life both before and after graduation. They work wonders at an academically focused institution. To the coaches and staff working at Caltech now, please keep up your amazing work. Whether your teams are winning or losing, you have a huge impact on your athletes, and they're always going to remember the time and effort that you put into coaching them. To the students, take full advantage of your opportunity to try something new, challenge yourself, and see what you can do both academically and athletically. Thank you again for this tremendous honor.
Our final Scholar Athlete Award is the Director's Award, which is given to a senior male and female student athlete who have participated for at least 2 years on an intercollegiate team that has made the most outstanding contribution to intercollegiate athletics during their entire Caltech career, both on and off the court, field, or pool. In competition, they represent Caltech with poise, integrity, and the spirit of competition. Beyond competition, they are stewards of the scholar, athlete, citizen model, displaying leadership, character, and maturity. These are young leaders who understand and live the values of an NCAA and a Caltech student athlete and show us every day what striving for excellence means. The winners are selected and acknowledged by the athletic director, and I ask the recipients to come forward together and share a few remarks about their experience with us. Please hold your applause until both come forward. The winners of the 2017 Directors Awards are Mary Boyajian and Chris Bradley.
I'll go first then. First off, thank you for the honor. I really have enjoyed immensely my time as an athlete at Caltech. I played water polo, tried a little bit of baseball and swam, so I had a lot of fun. It is a real opportunity to sort of, expand on maybe, so I came in as a water polo player, but there's an opportunity to play baseball. And so I jumped on it. The teams here, coaches, Coach Mark was incredibly